sentences? One sentence on how many pieces of paper? Two pieces of paper. Very good. Please, you have 1 minute to write your sentence. Yes, 1 minute to write your sentence. Thank you. Yes, so the main clause will go on this piece of paper.
Yes.
The conditional clause will go on this piece of paper. Guys, get to writing. You have 1 minute to write your conditional type 2. And remember, if we use the subject I, we always transform the verb to be as were, not was. Please, go. Now, I would like you to fold the papers into very small rectangles, like such. Small, please. Thank you. Thank you. Just one. Can you help me pick up those balloons? Smaller than that. All right, once you're done, please stand up and make a circle with me. Thank you. All right, so before we get started, there's a few things I'd like to cover. So we have Hailink that is visiting us today to do the grammar section. So everybody be welcoming of Hailink. Thank you. Welcome to the class this morning. This is a lovely bunch of people, and they'll be quite friendly to you. We have another special event today. It's the special day of someone. Can you guess it?
It's your birthday.
My birthday? No, not my birthday. Miss Nyung's birthday. So please, let's sing a happy birthday. Day to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, Miss Nyung. Happy birthday. Guys, so now we're going to move on to the activity, which is called conditional language. So I have conditional clauses in here. I'm going to mix them up. I'm your bartender today, and I'm going to mix you a conditional sentence. Now, if I take one from each cup, will the sentence make sense?
Yes, I guess it can.
It can, but is it probable that it will make sense? Unlikely that it will make sense. Can you hold these cups for me, please? So I will take one from, oops, thank you, one from each cup, and I will read it out loud. If I were rich, I hope. But it's something that could happen, actually.
Yes.
I would accept his proposal. Does that make sense? Ooh la la. Now, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes?
Kind of.
I don't know.
Well, probably not. We don't know what the proposal is, right? So, and we don't know who it is and so on. So give me the thumbs down. Now, I cannot change the sentence, but I have to explain the sentence for it to make sense. So for example, if I were rich, I would accept his proposal of opening up a Highlands coffee next to my house because I think I can make a lot of money with it. Now, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So you give me the thumbs up. Did I change the sentence?
No.
I explained the sentence. So now take one from each cup. Open it, read it quietly, and think of an explanation to your sentence, please. Phone, please come and join us. You may help some students that are struggling with their explanation. Okay? Go help Drew, I think he needs help.
There's some tricky.
Read it quietly. Hands up. There we go. Does it make sense?
No.
It doesn't make sense? Okay, Pham, go help Kuang. She needs help with the...
This is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous? Okay.
Because are we writing the same sentence? I think I'm writing.
Maybe it's your own sentence. You never know. Or maybe somebody wrote, a lot of people wrote if I were rich. So, okay. Please read your sentence, Mr. Wu.
Okay. If I were you, I would like to marry a dog. Ridiculous.
Okay, so does this make sense?
No.
Can you explain this sentence? Why, if you were somebody else, you would marry a dog?
Maybe
Who is you? Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to some dog lover.
But it's so wrong. Okay, I'll help you with this one. If I were talking to a dog, I would say, if I were you, I'd marry a dog. Does that make
Yes,
sense now?
exactly.
Yes, and that's not strange at all. Miss Dia, please.
If I were a teacher, I would take a year off to travel.
Does this make sense?
Honest.
It's boring, but yes, it makes sense. As a teacher, I would take a year off to travel. Very good. Nyung, please.
If I were the president, I would build a lot of schools.
Love school.
If you're a good president, obviously you would want to build school. Huyen, please.
If I were you, I would travel to Halong City.
Okay, makes sense.
Well, coming from you, because you're from Halong, you would suggest it to people to come visit. Thailand, please.
I have 2 resource clause.
Oh, 2 results clause, really? Okay, so let's read it. So if I were a famous model, so if I were a famous model, I would.
If I were a famous model, I would buy a lot of things I wish. That makes sense.
Makes sense.
Man, boring.
If I was her, I would travel to Mars.
I would travel to Mars.
Yes.
Doesn't make sense. Explain it to us. Why would you, if you were her, you would go to Mars?
Who is her?
Who is her?
Maybe her is
Astronauts.
If she's Taylor Swift. Yeah, maybe she's tired of people following her around, so she would move to Mars. That makes sense. Good job. Well done. So Hua?
Yes, exactly. This is my sentence, but someone wrote it for me. Correct. If I were an astronaut, I would move to Mars.
That was my sentence. So that's my exact sentence. Good job. Well done. No. Don't change. Don't change.
No, I don't change.
Please.
I received 2 conditions.
Okay, so let's see here.
Who would write this one?
I won the lottery tomorrow, I would marry a tall girl.
So my sentence is, if I won the lottery tomorrow, I
Would?
would marry a tall girl.
Does this make sense?
Maybe.
I like tall girls, so maybe. Very good, Tien,
Okay,
please.
so if I were a millionaire, I would work at my high school. At my high school. My
Why would you work at your high school if you were a billionaire? Or
Because I want to share a lot of things about my brilliant career.
with your alumni? Very good. Well done. That's a generous thing to do. Well done. Okay, now we're going to try to find the correct sentences. So Hailing and Tweet, probably you guys need to talk to each other. The rest of us, let's go around the classroom and try to find the correct match. Kuam, you already have yours.
Yes, perfect.
All right. So
If you were a
A dog, marry a dog.
no, not really.
no.
Now I have my own.
Marry a dog.
You have a match?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I were,
You go
I
this
was
side. I would.
Maybe if I was her,
Kuyen, did you?
that's okay.
I would like to marry a dog.
You have already.
I would-
This is the dog boy, this is the dog, dog boy, this is dog girl. That's okay.
If I were rich, maybe I would take a year off.
I'm concerned, like,
Take this.
confused.
Okay, guys, let's get back to the circle. And let's see if we got the correct matches. Now, who wrote the main clause, if I were rich? And is it, I would take a year off to travel? Yes, I got it. Very good, Kuya.
If I were a teacher,
Who wrote if I were a teacher?
if I were a teacher,
Very good.
I would work at my high school.
Good, well done. Ms. Yoon, please.
Who wrote, if I were the president,
Me.
I would build a lot of schools.
Well done. That's a nice sentence. Good.
If
Yeah.
I were a billionaire, I would accept his proposal.
Who wrote if I were a billionaire?
I wrote it. It is
What's the conditional clause?
If I were a billionaire, I would buy a lot of things that I wish.
Who has, I would buy a lot of things that I wish. Here we go, here we go, and switch. Leanne, please.
If I were you, I would travel to Hanoi City. That's what I would.
That's good.
If I won the lottery tomorrow, I would accept his proposal.
You wrote that?
I wrote the blue one.
You wrote the blue one. What's the second, the second, I would move to Mars?
Yes, and
Okay. So this goes here, this goes here. Good. Read it.
okay, if I was you, I would accept his proposal.
So who wrote if I were you? Is that you would accept his proposal?
I know.
No? What is your,
The condition.
what's the, what is it? I would marry a dog?
Yes.
Who were you talking to?
Don't just book my cover.
In this case, I think it's more than the cover. All right.
Yes.
Please, it's the correct sentence. If
Yes.
I were an astronaut, I would go to Mars. Good, Tweet.
If I were a tour, I would become a famous model.
Oh, I like that. Good job. And please read it. If I were.
If I were her, I would accept his proposal.
Ooh, who is her?
Her?
Who is him?
Her. If I were her, I would accept his proposal, which
So-
means she would get married
Yeah.
with that person. Well done, guys. Thank you. Let's take our seats and let's discuss this activity. The activity is called conditional madness. Now, in terms of skills, what are the main skills of this activity? Page 16, 17. So definitely grammar is the main one. It's conditional type of grammar. Speaking more than pronunciation, but yes, there could be pronunciation. Is there listening? So speaking, listening. Is there vocabulary? Is there writing?
Yes.
Is there reading? Good. Now, what are the topics?
Any.
There's an actual grammar point here. It has to be at least 2 clause sentences
Two clauses.
or conditional sentences. The level of the students. Do you think, yes, pre-intermediate is pretty good, but do you think pre-intermediate can actually explain a conditional sentence that doesn't make sense? So intermediate for the first part, pre-intermediate for the second part, where you have to find the correct matches to the sentences. So I showed you 2 parts to this activity. The one is explaining a crazy conditional that requires higher levels. Trying to find the correct matches, that's maybe pre-intermediate, maybe upper beginner. Good. The student speaking time.
90, more than 95.
90+%. Good. This morning, before we get into it, there's a little review of some things that I'd like to do of what we did yesterday. I'll go backwards from yesterday. Our last topic yesterday was what? Lesson planning. Very good. So can you remind me the different parts of a lesson plan? So general information, but tell me about the lesson plan itself. The lesson starts with what? Warm up. Now, after the warm up, what do we have? Very good. And what's the purpose of a pre-task? Introduce the topic. Can we skip it?
Yes.
In which case? If you've included it in your warm-up activity, that's correct. So we have the pre-task. After the pre-task, what do we do? In what are you guys doing in teaching one? Teaching vocabulary. Does it always have to be vocabulary? It depends on what? On the curriculum of the lesson. Very good. After the teaching one, we have? And the purpose of a task after a teaching point is what? To practice, review, reinforce the language that they've learned in the teaching point. After task 1 for you guys is? And what are you doing in teaching 2? Grammar. And after teaching 2? Task 2. After the task, after you finish the lesson towards the end, what do we do there?
Follow up.
Follow up. What is a follow-up? It's a review, but is it a teacher-led review or a student?
Student.
So we do an activity. Is it a game? Very energetic or
Low energy.
Low energy. And it serves to, it's just an activity to practice what? Teaching 1 and 2 or 3, and it all comes into one last activity. And your job as a teacher is to do what? Observe and make sure that the students have reached the goals of the lesson. Good. So today we're going to be thinking about different ideas that we can do for the pre-task and the follow-up. This is where a lot of students struggle with ideas. Remember, a pre-task is a short introduction. It shouldn't be too long. And the follow-up, low-key energy activity, focusing in this case on speaking and listening. I don't want to see the students writing down a story. I want them to practice speaking and listening. What's the best way to practice speaking and listening? Question and answers, very good. Anything else? Role plays are good. What else can we do? Dialogues. Can we do surveys? So remember, low-key energy activity that focuses on speaking and listening. Now, I will give you the topic of the lesson. The topic is hobbies. The level, pre-intermediate. As pre-intermediate students, do they already know hobbies?
Yes.
Just keep that in mind. The age, they are teenagers. And the grammar point, different ways of expressing likes and dislikes. Of expressing like and don't like. How can I express I like something in a different way? I enjoy, I fancy, I'm keen on, I love, I'm interested in. What are different ways we can express don't like? I hate, that's strong. I dislike, I don't enjoy, I'm bored with, I'm not keen on something. So I'm fed up, ooh, that's a good one. Now, in this case, you will be teaching students, but you won't really be teaching, but the topic is hobbies, so the vocabulary are different hobbies that the students don't know yet, and different ways of expressing likes and dislikes. You have to come up with a suitable way to introduce the topic, and a suitable way to reinforce the language at the end of the lesson. You will be doing this in small teams, so vous all the way to Fong. We're going to go from Viet to Vien. We're going to go all the way to You guys have 5 minutes. Just come up with an idea. You don't need to design the whole activity.
Okay, so this is one of the part. So we need to let student review activity. It's low key. Yeah, and also like we will promote speaking and listening. What do you guys think? It's okay. I'm just trying to contain myself. Same here. Yeah. I'm just trying. Alright, so what do you guys have in mind? They need to be able to, we will test whether they have reached our goals of being able to express like or dislike. Should be lucky, so maybe what is here, what do you think? Okay. What do you think? So, alright. So that is an activity. We have teenagers. So just let them write. How about you divide student in pairs and let them ask each other a couple questions. So this fighting you like, this fighting you don't like.
What is this for?
This is for the
Follow-up to dialogue.
Dialogue, yeah. So maybe we can do some topics. For example, like at school, what is the subject you don't like? What is the subject you like? So then students will take turn, okay? For example, ask Miss Tia, right? So what is the subject that you enjoy? Say, I enjoy. Alright, so then I will ask English. Then I will say, alright, for me it's math, okay? And then next next year we'll have to take turn to ask the negative one. So what is the subject that you dislike? Don't like. And I will say, for me, chemistry. Alright, so you're not a big fan of math. Okay, and then next we can choose another topic. Maybe you can type different types of food you like, or maybe the kind of transportation you like, you don't like. So that will promote speaking. That will be quite easy that we don't have to write anything. We can just go around and check if they can use that correctly. So what do you think?
So how are you going to do it?
Too long, so maybe
What do you like to do?
first thing there should be around 4 topics. I think should be a sweet spot right there. So in school, right? Food,
Okay.
movie.
Guys,
What do you guys think?
1 more minute.
Do you have any?
1 more minute.
I can think of 3 topics, but you can read. Hobby, yes. Yes. Good idea. Oh, I see. Yes. That is exact what I was missing.
I don't know if you like it.
Doing all of that. We can hear.
Our father was working in finance, so she chose this and high school.
Yes. And it will be about speaking and listening. You have to speak and you have to listen, answer, which is going to be nice. Speaking time going to be more than 90%. It's good. Even though it's low-key activity, but it's still okay.
Well, as long as you tell them that they need to focus on the new vocabulary and the new grammar. You have to make sure that they pick one by themselves. If you instruct them to do it and then they record it, that's fine.
I thought she's the new one.
Okay, guys, let's get back to our seats and let's discuss your wonderful ideas. Spread out. I think exactly. Okay, so let's check some of the team's idea. What's your idea for the pre-task? Pre-task.
Sorry. It's still okay. Because we have to follow up.
Start from the end all the way. Okay, so what's your idea for the follow-up? For the pre-task? But how are you going to do it?
What are you doing?
So you're going to Q&A with the students?
Yes.
Good. So engaging the students in a small conversation about hobbies that they would know already and expressing like and dislike. Yes? Your idea is the same way thinking. Why? Because it's a perfect idea. Great way of engaging students and reviewing language that they already know. And it makes it personal for the students. Great way to start the lesson. Personally, I would do that, or I would maybe include it in my warm-up to review the language as well. Both would be acceptable. Let's check with the follow-up. What's your idea for the follow-up?
So our idea is dialogue.
Good. Who else? Their idea is a dialogue. Dialogue, conversation, which is a dialogue. Why? Because it's the simplest way of practicing speaking and listening. Don't reinvent the wheel, guys. Keep it simple sometimes. A lot of people think that we need to be clever to achieve the goals of the lesson, but the best way to practice conversational English or speaking and listening is by actually having a conversation. The beautiful thing about it is try to make it personal, so the students are sharing their own ideas. It helps them remember the language. Well done, guys. Thank you. That's exactly what I want to see for the pre-task and the follow-up. Now, look at my board. Vu, can you read what's in black there?
On in student practice,
What are we doing in student practice?
we will observe
Observe what?
their
Who's practicing?
Students.
What do you think you're going to practice? No, that's a review. What do you think, what did you have to do yesterday as homework? So this is where you guys are going to be doing your warm-ups. So I'm going to invite very soon some students to do a warm-up phone. You're going to be the first to come and perform a warm-up this morning. Before he starts, we're going to finish the review. Vocabulary, lower levels, flashcard technique, how many steps?
4.
Lower level, beginner, upper beginners? 4 steps. Step 1? Student. And the students listen only. And we use clear body language. And we say it 5 times. Very good. Step 2. Choral drill. And what do we do in this phase? The whole class repeats. And what do we do as teachers as well? We listen or observe for mistakes. And how many times do we repeat it? 5 times. And remember, try to be lighthearted and encourage the students to practice during this phase. Step 3. Individual repetition. And how do we check the students' pronunciation? Randomly. Very good. And what should we do every time we talk to a student?
We call by the name.
First of all, we should call them by their names, and we should also praise the student. Sorry guys, thank you.
Bless you.
Appreciate that. And we should always praise them. What if we have a large class, like 40 students? What do we do then? We divide into smaller groups. Step 4.
Final repetition.
Final repetition. And what do we do with the final repetition? You review all of the previous words we've taught. Very good. So if I've taught 3 words, how many words do I review? 3 words. If I've taught 4 words, 4 words. Good. Pre-intermediates, how many steps?
5.
Step number 1. Explain is always going to be the first step. A simple explanation in conjunction with a visual aid, a picture. Good. Step 2. Repeat how many times? 2 or 3 times. And what can we do more here? We can show them usage, so we can give them examples of sentences. Step 3. Choral drill. How many times?
2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times. Good. And the next?
Individual repetition.
Individual repetition. And what can we ask the students to do as well?
Make sentences.
Make sentences. And the final step? Final repetition. Good job. Now, guys, this is enough for the review. Well done. You know your stuff. We're going to move on to Fong and his performance this morning. Fong, I would like you to write the level and the age of your students, the name of your activity right here. You already brought your marker? You borrowed mine?
Yes, I borrowed.
I'm not sure this one is going to work that well. Maybe you want to try another one.
Use black one.
Sure. This one works fairly well. Level and age. Okay, guys. While he is preparing his board, because for warm-ups you always have time before the lesson to prep up, I will always give you a little bit of time before you start. You guys are going to be performing as students just like you perform in my activities. But you also, as participants, have to act the level and the age. What levels are you acting out? Beginner, or in this case, upper beginners. Do you have a lot of English?
No.
So can you ask complicated questions if you don't understand?
No.
So do not ask any complicated questions during the activity. If the students don't understand, you don't understand. That's it. The teacher will have to try to manage that as in a real classroom.
Me too. I have a
Now,
feeling.
you are also going to give feedback to the students at the end. What type of feedback are we looking for?
Constructive.
Constructive, but give me on what type of thing, what points are we looking at to give feedback on? Voice projection, for example?
Yeah.
Do you think
Pronunciation.
time management? So what is the minimum, what's the maximum?
4 to 6
to
minutes.
6 minutes. Good. What other things are we looking for in terms of feedback to give on?
Feedback.
Do you think the explanation,
Explanation.
the suitability of the explanation, was it clear enough for the level and the age of the students? Do you think suitability for the level, the activity, suitability for the age?
Yes.
Good. Well, that's my chair.
I know.
I need it. I need my chair.
Oh, then I'll
Good choice. You can definitely use that. You bring that down. Guys, give a big round of applause for Fong, please. Fong, the floor is yours. Oh, mystery.
You have to you have to school over there.
This was a hobby.
Yeah.
Thầy ơi.
Wait, gonna teach
Yeah.
all
You have 9 students right there.
You are our teacher. You are our teacher now.
นี่กับไทยกัน
Fair enough.
Good morning, teacher.
Morning.
One of these like
One more. One more. Just kidding.
Practice your reflection.
Okay, so you can put all of that in there. You're good. When there's a problem, there's a solution.
hey,
Are you ready?
yeah.
All right, let's give a big round of applause for Fong. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, hello class. Yeah. Okay, welcome back. Right. The previous lesson, yesterday, right? Okay, we've learned about school things.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay. There are many things that we don't usually, we see every day. Right? It doesn't have to be in our school. We see it in our house as well. Okay. Our parents use it. We use it when we do our homework. Right? So, for example, what is this? Pen. And what about this one?
It's a pencil.
Pencil.
Ruler.
Okay.
Eraser.
Okay. Now, when we go to our class, right, we have something to stick our paper or flashcards onto the board. And what do we call this one? Remember?
Magnet.
Magnet, right? Magnet. Okay. In case you forgot. Magnet. Very good. When we play games, we have a few balls, right? So this is a
Ball.
This is a sticky ball, right? Because it sticks, right? Right. And we use this one to tape. Right? Yeah, right. To stick things right together, right? To fix. And this one is to clip, right? Things together to hold papers. Right? So we call it a flipper. A thing to flip things is a flipper. Right. And this one is to draw attention, like to call someone. Right? It's a bell. Very good. Okay, so you remember your words. Now we're going to have a little game. We call it mystery object. Okay, so we're going to divide our class into two teams. Right? We have two teams from Mr. Wu to Miss New. Okay, and from this is a team. Right?
And this permits me to it's gonna be a second team, our second team. Right. What is your team name? Can you choose your team name?
Winter.
Winter. Winter. And how about your team?
Winter Queen.
Okay. Winter Queen. Okay. Sure. Right. Now, in this game, each team will have one student coming up and pick. Okay. Just go inside and pick the stuff, right? And guess what it is. Okay. And you have to describe it. Describe and tell your the other students what it's used for. Okay. You use it to do something, right? And the other person will have to guess. And whoever which team guessed it first will get a point. All right? It's going to be a quick game. So whatever you pick first, you're gonna just gonna do it all linear, right? And whatever you grab first, you grab that, right? Make sure it's all together. Okay. Right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Can you stand up and make a like
Two lines.
Sure, 2 lines. Right. Okay. Who wants to be the test? Yeah. Okay. Right. Just one person. So this team first, and then next team. Okay. Like this goes up, and this goes up, and then turn around. Yeah, take turns. Right. Right. Miss you first then. Okay. Let's go. Don't pull it up. Just
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
It's flat. It'll be long around 20 centimeters to 30 centimeters.
So this one's first. Okay. Very good.
Mine look one away.
Come on, Winter Queen. Okay, very good. 1 point for you, Winter Queen. Very good. Okay.
We use it to write on the board.
On a pen?
No.
A marker.
A marker. Very good. Okay. Okay. It's okay. And then we can go. It's okay.
Just pick one thing.
Yeah.
She's picking.
Usually the thing, we write.
Pen? Pen?
Pencil.
Pencil.
On the book, can we erase?
No, we can't.
It's a pen. Okay, so this team, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, he says first,
He says
but
first.
I didn't finish
So
mine.
you just like that. No, that's it. Just kidding.
Time.
Yeah.
All right, guys, everybody take your seats. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Guys, let's give a big round of applause for Mr. Brown. Take your seat. How do you feel about the activity?
I took too long with the explanation of the review.
Do you know how long it took you?
Yeah, probably around like half a session.
More than half.
Yeah.
4 minutes and almost 15 seconds it took you to even start the activity. Yeah, it was too long. And we'll discuss on how we can reduce it. I'll do a quick demo after that. Good. Anything else that you would change? Do you think it was suitable for the level and the age of your students?
No, creativity would be more
No, I think it was definitely suitable for the level and the age, but I would have maybe in your explanations given a bit more explanation. So what can I use this for? It's a what is this? It's a ruler. Can I measure things with it? Yes. Is it long or is it short? It's long. Is it thin or is it big? Or wide? So yeah, you help the students with some explanations. When you put them in the bag, you would give them a quick explanation. That would be the way to do it. Okay. Guys, give him some feedback. Put your hands up and let's give some feedback. Yes, Tuya.
Yeah, maybe like he comment about himself.
Yeah.
True problem with this is about the language. He use a lot of explanation that are difficult for beginner and upper beginner to understand.
Absolutely. Phong has really good English, right? And due to the fact that he has good English, we tend to overcomplicate the language that we use for the students in our class. So that's definitely something that you will have to learn, is to simplify the way that you speak or how you avoid speaking to students altogether. Remember, demonstrate, don't explain is the key to success here. Good, well done. Anything else you'd like to add?
And the time is very important.
Yeah, the time management, yes, good. Yes, well.
I think the rule in there is not clear. The one is divide into two, but when the person deducting, but other answer will correct their points.
Not clear enough.
Even the team B is that's the
Missing.
No, but it's okay. The team that guesses gets the points. It doesn't matter from which team you are explaining. It's the person that guesses that always gets it. It's always the person that guesses that gets the points. So, for example, first of all, it was Myung who was in Team Winter, right? And but Tui was the one to guess in Winter Queen, so she got the points. So he said Tui guessed, so he gave the point to Winter Queen. That's the way I would do it as well.
Yeah, actually the explanation is not clear enough for the
I would have done a clearer demo maybe for the actual pointing system, but in terms of the pointing system, I think it was suitable. Good. Yes, it could be clearer though. Good. What else? Tui, give some feedback, please.
I think he should speak louder to make the energy for class.
Well, yeah, at some point your voice sort of died down. Don't forget, you're the leader. You need to have crisp, strong voice to keep that energy. If your energy falls, then the energy dies. The students don't trust that the activity is going well. What you project, people feel. And in this case, this would happen. Very good. So the feedback that you guys gave is excellent. It's exactly what I would have here as feedback. I would say, first and foremost, assume that the students know the vocabulary. You don't need to say things that we use at home. Like, they don't need to know all that, okay? Bring back the table here, please. Yeah, the table and everything. Put it right there, thank you. So everybody sit down. Guys, what's this?
Bag.
It's a bag. I have things in my bag. What is this?
It's a ball.
It's a ball. What can I do with a ball?
You can
Play with
I can play with it. And can I throw it to my friends?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I kick it like a football?
Yes.
Very good. It goes back in the bag. What is this?
It's a tape.
It's a tape. What can I do with this? Can I stick things together? Very good. Now, what about this? What is this?
Ruler.
It's a ruler. Can I measure things with this?
Yeah.
How long is it? 20 centimeters. Is it short or is it long?
It's short.
It's long. What is this?
It's
a marker.
It's a marker. What can I use it for? To write on the board. Good. What is this?
It's a pen.
It's a pen, and I use it to write on paper. Can I erase it?
No.
Good. Goes back in the bag. What is this?
It's a pencil.
And I use it to also write on paper. But can I erase it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, now, mystery objects, simple. I put my hand. I can use this to write on the board. What is it?
Marker.
Very good. You would get the point for your team. So today we're going to play two teams. Vu and New, please stand up. Make a semicircle here. Huyen, all the way to Tui, stand up, make a semicircle. I start the activity. So in this case, did I explain anything? Did I review the vocab?
Yes.
Did I give them simple explanations to do the explanations here? Yes. Did I show them how the point system would work? Yes. Did I show them which teams would perform? Yes. So remember, don't explain things, just demonstrate. All right, next person to come and perform this morning will be, excuse me, I have a list here. I've already decided who's going to be next. Yeah, you're up. What no?
Bingo.
What no? You don't have preparation for the warm-up? How come? Like, to be fair, ready or not, I'm still going to call you. This is not fair for anybody. I told everybody to be ready this morning.
He's not
As a
ready.
future
He's still sleeping.
teacher, you have to come and perform whether you're ready or not.
Maybe this one.
Not maybe. This is not a deal we're making. This is a responsibility that you have for this course we have.
Because I just was thinking about the game called bingo, but it's not
Okay, Leanne, I'll give you a pass this time, but there's no pass next time. It's not maybe, it's you're ready by tomorrow, okay? Thank you, thank you. Let's go with you, please. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, so please write the level and the age and the name of your activity.
It's okay.
So
me
you are
too.
my student now?
Wait.
Yes, I
Write the level and the age first. And the name of your activity, please.
Teacher Nhung.
Teacher Newman, yes.
This already.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, teacher.
Thank you, kids.
Oh, two and
Yes.
Yes.
and.
We already
We
signed
are
the
very
form.
safe.
We already signed it.
Yeah.
You late and we said.
Yeah, I'm late now.
You can sing it to her alone later at break time, okay?
Birthday.
I didn't call you by FaceTime.
Rapid Messenger, I like the name. All right, guys, let's give a big round of
Messenger.
applause to the birthday girl today.
How are you today, kids?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm okay.
Hey, what's the weather like today? Is it cold?
Yeah.
Cold.
Alright, so what you will learn last lesson? We'll learn about colors. Now tell me colors. Now, three, what colors? What color is this? Red.
Purple.
Correct, Huron?
I think it's purple.
Purples. Yes. What color is this?
Green.
Green. Okay. What color is this? Red.
Velvet.
Alright.
Red.
So now, let's go and make game. Come here. Come here. From Huron to T. Come here. And make a line. And from Huron to Huron. Come here. Alright? So, we'll play a small game, but it needs your very rapid action. Alright? And I will tell the person at the board the words. And you have to transfer the word to the first one, and the first one can write out the word on the board. So we get 1 point for correct words and 1 point for the fastest. Alright? Understand?
Yes.
Alright.
Can I have a pen, teacher?
Yeah. So your team name is?
Red.
Red, alright?
Red,
And
red, green.
blue, right. Very good. Did you have breakfast where you can see a lot of energies? For you, they have red, blue. Wow. Okay.
Blue, red, red, blue.
Now, when you come here, you have to whistle like can you tell loud?
Yes.
No, you just whisper.
Sorry, teacher, but the red team is 4 only. Our goal is 5. So how come fast as the?
No. Then you just stand there. Yeah. One step ahead.
All right.
No, we don't have much time now. We got it.
Oh my God.
All right, gotta guess.
So fast.
Okay. So you got 2 points, and you get 1 point. So next word 2.
Even 1 or 2, please.
2. Okay, 2. I will count 2. Okay. Come here. Please come here. And you move on.
Like
Forward.
Okay, sit down. Come. We want that away.
One step ahead. What?
Oh no. Now, 2. What did I say? Green. What is it? So how many points can you get? No point, okay? Green, okay. But you are the slowest. Okay, so you get only 1 point. All right? Okay, and move on. Very good. Oh, can you read it? Yes.
Oh.
Purple. It should be
No.
whatever it is. Okay. Very good. She wrote the correct ones, and she's faster. So she got 2 points. And okay, I will give you 1 point. Thank you, teacher. All right, move on.
Black?
Now, what did teacher say to you? White. The white? What is this?
White.
White. Is it correct, class? Is it correct? No.
Just like black.
I don't have point. Black. Okay. All right. So, thumbs up. All right. Come back to your seat. Very good. Well done.
Very fast.
All right, let's give a big round of applause for the teachers. And how did you feel about your activity?
Yeah, I think for my personal, I did it, yes.
Well done.
I agree. I think you went fairly well in terms of the activity itself. Did you guys have fun with it?
Yes.
Yes.
I think the students would as well. So it's a really fun, entertaining activity. Your energy is fantastic.
Yes.
You don't let things affect you, such as who I'm going. But the point, it doesn't matter. I like how you roll with things. As a teacher, sometimes you have to not make a big deal about the scores and all of that. It's all about the fun and the language we're using in the classroom. But you do have to be careful because young children will be very, very upset sometimes. So you've got to be sure that sometimes you score, but I like the way you roll with things. You sort of make not a big deal or a big fuss of things, and that's a good thing to do. Guys, let's give her some feedback, please. You don't have any? Yes? Well, thank you. I generally think yes.
Yes.
But where's the however,
However, I think it's just the small thing as you mentioned. Sometimes kids very competitive and
Yeah.
they want to be clear, win and lose.
yeah.
Make it clear.
Yeah, you should at least declare a winner or not a loser, but you should always declare a winner and give a little mention of praise to the other team as well. But yeah, I think that's fair. But sometimes, to be fair, I had students that become too competitive, and I think Nyum has a good energy in terms of not making a big deal out of it. And sometimes you'll have, like, competitions are great for energy, but they're bad for class atmosphere sometimes because you have the losing and you have the winners who maybe are a bit too excited. So I'm being too open. I'm in the middle of this one. So I like your energy, but she's also right there. You should declare a winner, but not making a big deal out of it is also very important. Good, thank you for the feedback. Who else? Let's go with, William, give some feedback.
I have the same ideas.
Oi, Joy, oi. Think of something else, William. Go on.
I think you is not well today.
She did great. Good.
Yes, and I agree with you and about the march for the kids. And if I choose, maybe I need to change the teacher. Did not talk with the student. I will choose blackout. So the last one, if I was
Personally, I would practice saying it or writing it on a piece of paper or a flashcard. They're all, that's your personal choice.
yes,
But I,
the last,
yeah.
because the last one, the routine is black, the red is white.
Well, that's half of the fun of this game. Did you know the idea, like in French, we call it the Arab telephone because there were no phone lines a long time ago. So one house would whisper a message to one house, but the funny thing is the first message never matched the end message. That's the fun part of this activity. So you have to leave some silly things like this to happen. It's part of the fun.
Because
And-
I think it's okay, but for the kid, maybe it with some problem.
Yeah, but it's part of the activity, and the problem was not at the back. The problem was in the middle. It's never the starting point. It's never the ending point. It's somewhere in the middle of the back. So you can't really change that, and you can't really control it. As a teacher, roll with it. It's part of the fun of this activity to have a little bit of silliness. Good. I'm going to finish the feedback, Neil. I think you have tremendously good energy. I like the way you start your class by greeting your students, asking them questions about the weather. Just careful of not going too far into it. Sometimes we get lost in these types of greetings. But all in all, I love the way you do that, your energy. Try to slow it down a little bit. Sometimes when you're speaking, it's a bit too fast, but it's not that big of a deal. And maybe demonstrate what a whisper is before you start the activity. For example, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can whisper. So give a clear demonstration of what a whisper before you stand them up in lines. Also, we had an issue with the teams. We had 5 and we had 4 because we had, what do we call this? Uneven or odd numbers. Now, with odd numbers, especially when it comes to children, they will feel like it's not necessarily fair. What do you do when you have this issue?
3 teams. 3 teams.
3 teams.
3 teams in this case would work. With 13, it would not. So 3 teams in this case, 3, 3, 3 would be a good choice.
Yes.
What else would we do? If you have 13 students, what I often do is I take one of my strongest students
Yes, to speak.
and I make that person into the teacher. They're in the back as a teacher and I'm controlling the activity from the outside. So find a way to keep the student involved and deal with the situation to create a more fair situation. Or else these guys will get upset.
Yes.
All right, Neil, that was fantastic. so you know, it was exactly 5 minutes, so great time. Guys, what's our main point for this morning?
Grammar.
Teaching grammar. So let me erase the board and we'll get started on grammar. And you don't need to look inside your manuals. It's not in your manuals. If you have your exam preparation books, you can take out your exam prep book. If not, it's not necessary that much. We're only going to read 2 paragraphs out of it. Okay, guys. Don't open your books yet. I didn't give you the page just yet because I don't want to start like that. Now, first and foremost, is grammar important?
Yes.
What does it do for language?
Create structure.
It gives structure and more precise meaning. It helps to give precise meaning to vocabulary and structure to language. It gives a logical sequence in terms of understanding language. Now, are students in Vietnam good at grammar?
Yes.
Are they good at using it in spoken form?
No.
But we're talking in general.
Generally,
In
no.
general, are they good at speaking with grammar? So you guys are generally quite good at speaking with grammar, but the general population, they're good at the theory of grammar, but they're not so good at using it in spoken form. Why is that? What's the issue? Lack of practice is definitely something. What else?
Fear of making mistakes.
Fear of making mistakes usually blocks you from speaking altogether or can create confusion in the way that you express yourself. You overthink it. Very good. What else? So, lack of practice, fear of making mistakes. What else? How do we usually teach grammar in schools?
Like books.
Traditional way. So what does that involve, the traditional way? Let's break it down. What language is it taught in? So we're using Vietnamese to teach a concept in English.
Yes.
And does language translate well that way? So the way you think in Vietnamese, is it the same way you think in English? So, for example, let's look at a basic verb in Vietnam that is used all the time. Làm. Okay? What does làm mean? Do. Very good. But you can also say làm cái gì? What are you doing, right?
Yeah.
Or đi làm, I'm going to work. So it has multiple functions depending on the context. So that doesn't really translate well in English directly, right? The same thing, when you're explaining grammar in English or English grammar in Vietnamese, what language are they thinking in when speaking? Is that a great way of thinking when you're trying to express yourself in another language? Now, why do we use Vietnamese? There's a reason. It makes it easier, but is it easier for the teacher or easier for the student? It's easier for both. It's easier for the teacher. We're making our life easy because we use a language that they understand, and it creates as little barriers as possible, and I understand that. But is it better for the students?
No.
So we're using something that makes our life easier, what I call a shortcut, that will create difficulties in the long run. Why are we teaching something if the students can't use it afterwards? What skills are we also focusing on when teaching grammar? Reading and writing. Do we focus on speaking and listening?
No.
And that's usually where the students struggle the most. So again, that's a lack of practice for the most important skills for using it. Now, obviously the students understand the theory well, which means what should we do in our classes to help students with grammar? So we should definitely involve more practice. What language should we try to communicate? English. Now, at lower levels, do students understand a lot of English?
No.
Obviously not, like we've discussed throughout the week. That's the difficulty of dealing with lower levels. So how can we teach them grammar at lower levels? Pattern practice and context. How can we create context? We can make sentences, but in terms of context, you need to simulate an environment and a situation in which you use the grammar. Now, when it comes to children, are they well equipped to understand grammar rules?
No.
So should we directly teach them the grammar rules?
No.
Okay, so remember, children, we avoid teaching grammar too intensely. What about teenagers and adults? Can they understand a little bit more?
Yes.
Okay, so basic understanding. Open your exam books to page 14, please. There are two grayed out paragraphs at the bottom of page 14. Why is grammar important is the two paragraphs that I want to read this morning with you guys. Well, can you please, I can write the message. Can you stop at the first paragraph?
Yes. Why is grammar important? We need to use grammar to be able to structure sentences and communicate effectively. At the beginner level, students do not need to be taught grammar explicitly.
Explicitly.
But it should be addressed to the context of conversation. If students are at the intermediate level or higher and above 10 years old, they are better equipped to decipher grammar rules. In many countries,
Decipher.
decipher grammar rules. In many countries, students will learn L2 English from
Second
a
language.
Yes, second language from a non-native speaker. They win grammar rules, but the rules will be explained in their first language, and as a result, teachers can find their students overseas will often have a very good understanding of English grammar concepts. It then becomes important to give students opportunity to put the grammar into practice, particularly when speaking.
Very good. So what's the most important thing that we can get out of these paragraphs? Just to give you a little tip for the explicitly. That helps a lot for a lot of my students when teaching the X sound in the middle of a word. Explicitly. Good. So what are the main concepts out of this paragraph, or these two paragraphs that we just read? So for kids, we usually never teach grammar until what age? Until they are 10 years old and above. What else? It's not just about children, it's also about level. So for, let's say you have teenager beginners, do we teach them explicit grammar? What about adults? No, beginners, upper beginners, we do not. Can we start naming the rules for teenagers and adults? I will always say today we're learning the present simple, but I will not explain all of the minutiae of when I use the present simple. They would not understand it. I would create situations where they can use it and practice it in the classroom. But I would not explain the minor details of the present simple. Now, I can name the rules, I don't explain the rules. I use pattern practice and context to create understanding for beginners, upper beginners. Can I start explaining the rules for your pre-intermediates? Yes, a little bit. They have a lot more language in this case, so you can give basic instructions, but we're still using some pattern practice, some repetition, and still some context for the students to practice. Now, if the students are about 10 years old and intermediates or higher, we can teach grammar? Can we explain the formulas and all of that? Yes, the students absolutely need to know and understand when and why to use it. Now, are we focusing on usage or are we focusing on the structure of the grammar?
Usage.
Always focus on usage first and let the students give you the formulas. Don't just give every information to the students beforehand, especially at higher level. Get them to think about the language that they see on the board. At intermediate level, the students already know enough grammar to tell you where the subject is, where the verb is, where the noun is, where the object of a sentence is. They know enough already to be able to tell you all of that information. Don't make them lazy. Make them think about the language. Good. Now this morning I will start with a grammar point for beginners. You guys will be my students. Welcome back to primary school. Welcome back to childhood. You guys are beginners this morning, okay? Put your books down, put everything down, and get ready to be my students. Actually, I'm sorry. Are you guys a bit tired?
No.
It's 20 past 10. I didn't see the time. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, and I will do the teaching point when you're a bit refreshed, okay? Guys, coffee and cakes over there. We come back, and we're going to start grammar as beginners. Go.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Sorry for not seeing the break time earlier.
It's okay.
Today we all have lunch. We're not going to do it tomorrow.
We'll be back tomorrow.
But you're having here?
Yeah, because we not have things to discuss, so we won't have in the other one. Today we're gonna have lunch in the classroom next door. And would you like to have? We discussing about the miến xào hải sản, seafood miến xào.
Seafood. Em dễ luôn. The exam. What do you think?
Come on for lunch.
I'm okay with it. You're just like me.
But you should try to see how we're going to.
Yours is good. Yours is good. So it's just that I understand that you notice that you have one here and there, but overall, I still can understand the ability. But of course, there are some standards. For example, like the X.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes I notice that
You like
sugary your cat.
No, I don't know.
For example, here's an example. Okay, okay, never mind then. Okay, so yeah, a lot of places they call the cat.
I enjoy you guys in the lunch area.
But it's a K and an S.
Teach and make it.
Yeah.
So,
So when you make the cut, the teeth will still close to each other. The two jaws are still close to each other, and the base of your tongue touch the upper palate and flip down.
Oh, yes. Actually, I think my hand of my teeth is
and when I took the entrance exam procedure, which is I got my so knowledge translates to theoretical knowledge.
just watch more series and more.
Yes, but what I mean is knowledge. So
When the character
create an argumentation for a student to understand to a certain extent, but yes, they have
the character saying
they are used to shortcuts, and it's a very Vietnamese way of thinking to use shortcuts. I don't like to say this, but how can I find the easiest point to go from point A to point B? But then once you finish,
and I feel like it's
nor should you be down. I think why are we thinking right now? So use English first and make a habit of creating a routine with English. Obviously, the student will be lost, so there will be some maybe precise questions. Always try English first. Then, obviously, you're going to have to do a hierarchy. You can't just go from on to off. Yeah, you can't go like this right away. The students will be hybrid.
high school, and I stopped after I graduated.
But I agree, it's a difficulty.
When I get to
university,
university,
I stopped. And you have.
It's not because my choice,
Which is
it's
not
that
like
I
a sense.
don't know why.
Interest anymore.
Yeah, I lost interest. I started to get interest into foreign languages because I feel like it's kind of okay already.
sắp tặng hoa rồi các cô ạ.
Phải là nhanh thì sắp hết năm nay rồi.
Sắp hết rồi.
Sắp tặng hoa rồi nhé, cô Tuyết.
Sắp là nhận hoa rồi.
That's great. I wish my university had that. They have a different faculty for
Speak in Korean. So I think it's as long as
Chỉ có một món thôi. Thì em đặt lên đồ 11:30 thì đã ship đến mình học xong rồi. Xong rồi ăn 15 phút rồi lại còn về bàn. Để chia nhau câu và đáp án nhau. Sau này chỉ đã dò một số câu rồi. Nhưng mà bọn em chưa in
Danish. Because I learned Danish. I tried to learn Danish for a solid three months.
Được
Self-study.
thế chứ bây giờ bảo thi vào thì
God knows
thế
it.
thì không học được. Chị chả hiểu sao nó làm đúng không phải
Em hỏi.
đấy hỏi thầy lên đề thi nó có phải thi vào bài thi này không chị
Thì nếu mà nó phải thì em phải nói chứ nhỉ?
thôi nhưng mà đấy là đề thi mà
Em nghĩ là đấy là luyện thôi á.
Thầy bảo là focusing on me and
yes
two of the
đấy
the
là
way of
focus
speaking.
sinh con thầy để học thế nhưng mà cái bạn nhân viên sáng nay bạn đầu đề thi mà kể cả chị buổi tiến học khóa trước vào đề thi mà
So ask Hải Linh.
Em nghĩ là đề thi đấy để luyện.
bạn này là
Đâu đây
ở đây Hải Linh như này
Dạ, Hải Linh.
đây không phải đề thi ở trong cái file nội exam của bài file online rồi
Đấy em đã nhưng mà sao cái này em không có mà. Đấy. Actually, no, thực ra trong email có nhưng mà phải tìm nó ở trong một cái file mà có chứa rất nhiều
Nhìn rõ
cái
ra thế này, nhìn rõ có thể chứ không có đáp án. Đúng rồi, bây giờ mình xem chữ này. Không giống như thế đâu.
5 emails.
Yes. Once I resign, or
Registration.
Once I register.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing. The first one is 4 emails. 4 emails. First one is confirmation email. The second one is to ask you to
Do this or
do this.
do that.
Second one is that if you are not very clear of your choice, you can do it again today. And then the fourth one will be that. Okay. And yesterday is another one for the template.
Yes.
So that's the fifth one.
But nothing is clear. Mine email and nothing is clear.
It's okay.
Right.
40 câu ấy ạ?
Đấy là điểm đạt. Tức là ví dụ mà 26 là fail, 27 thì là pass. Còn thật ra thì những ai học giỏi thì chắc được tầm tiệm cận với 40. Ví dụ 39 tầm đấy rất là giỏi. 36, 37, 38, 39 rất là giỏi.
I always need some sort of caffeine or something to kickstart my because
Yeah.
basically it's like a
Feel better.
Imagine you're like running on low fuel, just
We'll put you in the zone, okay?
diesel.
You know the zone, like your eyes will sparkle, right? You're in the zone right now.
This is the valve intake.
And then, like, unfortunately, this morning, the teacher just called you right away to do the demo or, like, task. So it was...
It's
Very-
fine. I got used to those kinds of things.
Yes.
I'm not surprised at all. Actually, I kind of anticipated it
Yeah.
since yesterday.
Actually, you will have to do it sooner or later, right?
Exactly.
Can't avoid it. Alright, so today is our third day of school.
Sao cái nếu hôm nay buổi chiều sư phạm Hà Nội có
Muốn học chứng chỉ nghiệp vụ sư phạm đúng không? Muốn học chứng chỉ nghiệp vụ sư phạm đúng không?
không có các bộ cân bằng hai.
À,
Cái certificate này chỉ gọi là
Đi chơi đấy.
cưới ngựa xem hoa.
Gần 2 triệu cứ sướng rồi.
Nào, sư phạm Hà Nội, nào Hà Nội mới có. Tại vì bạn này muốn dạy ở public school, cho nên mình phải cần những cái đó.
cái này nó như kiểu dành cho center nó
Ở đâu cũng được, ở bên ở đâu cũng được.
bây giờ
hoặc là hoặc là cho kiểu các cái nhỏ nhỏ thì nó sẽ
À,
bây giờ tất cả các trường private này là chỉ là một điều là văn bản
tiến ra
Phải là bằng 2 học chứ không phải là certificate.
cái này mình là đồng ý lòng tài chính nó không liên quan nên nhất chỉ có một chỉ có 5
Ok. Rồi, thế thì
homonyms.
There are some
Confusing terms. Right? God is like the way to check. The origin of English, the key grammar terms, and half homophones. Trying to find a
When you
cheat
try
code.
to remember the origin of English, just remember the three stages, right? The first stage is they speak Celtic, the Celt language, and then the Jutes, the Anglo-Saxons, yeah,
And the French invasion.
well, that's later. That's the other. They moved from the Germanic tribes. They invaded.
Britain.
The Celts, actually the Celts first, and then later on they speak the language called Old English,
Old English.
and then later on when the Danish coming down and try to invade it, they speak Middle English.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Shakespeare was born around that time.
Shakespeare.
And then the French going in, and so later after the French, English evolved into
What we call modern English, right?
middle to modern, around middle to modern English, and then later on it's evolved even more to modern English.
So the differences between the two last phases is just about the number of vocabularies, right? Because English has become like an international language, like a lingua franca, right? So let's come back.
Just 1 hour.
His name
Do you
is
like Italian?
Rice. Well, he told me his name is Rice.
Rice, yes, exactly.
Oui bien. Oui bien. Oui bien. In French.
Très bien.
Très bien. Muy bien.
Muy bien is
It's in Spanish?
Spanish.
I mixed them up. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. This is about our topic, okay? Present perfect, okay? No, this can be used in the present tense, I'm sorry. Like, do you have?
Yes, got 10 right. Past participle.
Yes, I have.
Yes, I have.
No, I
Sorry, I
have.
forgot the I.
Yes, I haven't.
Yes, I haven't.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Confusing, right?
Welcome back, everyone. Hope you guys had a nice break and you're all ready and your minds open for your favorite part of the lesson, grammar. You guys excited for grammar?
Yes.
All right, now, before we get started, look at the grammar structure. What kind of tense are we using?
Present.
This is present perfect. Now, why would I be using the present perfect for beginners? Because this is something that beginners would learn, especially children. Why am I teaching this?
I think because their family kind of speaks as they need.
I think what you're trying to say, if I'm not wrong, Fulham, is that it's a common part of speech.
Yes.
We use this, my daughter can use this, she started using this when she was 2 years old. If you are a native speaker, you've learned this as a child. Therefore, we teach it at beginner because it's a common part of speech. In some parts of the world, they will say, do you have? In some other parts of the world, they will say, have you got? The most precise way of asking the question is, have you got? So it's the most correct form of grammar you can have. obviously native speakers will debate this and say, do you have is just as good. I don't mind either or, but when you're teaching in a classroom, you use a specific grammar point. In this case, this is the grammar you will learn today. Now, please pay attention. At the end, I will ask you guys to list out the different steps that I use to teach this grammar point, and then we'll put them on the board. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right, guys, so let's get started. What is this? It's a marker. Again?
It's a marker.
Or un? Means one. Very good. Now, orange. Or un? Un. So remember, or un. Good. Now, listen, be quiet, look at me. Have you got a marker? 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 Listen and repeat. Have you got a marker? Again. Have you got a marker? Now, I do the gestures, you say.
Have you got a marker?
Again.
Have you got a marker?
Faster.
Have you got a marker?
Faster.
Have you got a marker?
Very good. Well done, guys. Now, listen, be quiet, look at me. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Listen and repeat. Yes.
Yes.
I
I
have. Again.
Yes,
I have. Yes, I have. I do the gestures, you say.
Yes, I have.
Faster.
Yes, I have.
Well done, guys. Now, no. Listen, be quiet, look at me. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. Listen and repeat. No.
No,
I haven't.
Haven't.
Again.
no,
I haven't. Again.
No, I haven't.
You say, I do the gestures.
No, I haven't.
Faster.
No, I haven't.
Well done, guys. Now look at this. Be quiet. Oh, hi Simon. Have you got a marker? Oh, yes, I have. Oh, hello Simon. Have you got a marker? Yes or no?
No.
No, I haven't. Boom, please stand up. Boom, I would like you to stand on the X-ray. Please hold this. So, hi Boom.
Hi, Simon.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
How about you?
I'm great, thank you. Have you got a marker?
Yes, I have.
That's great. Boom, would you like to switch with me, please? Now, look at my body language. Say,
Have you got
uh,
a marker?
oh, no, I haven't. Thank you, Boom. Well done. Give her a big round of applause. Everyone. Thank you. Boom, please stand up. And Boom, please stand up. Boom, you're going to stand right here. Boom, you're going to stand right here. Boom, no. All right, Boom, look at my body language.
Have you got a marker?
No, I haven't.
Very good. Boom. Switch places, please. Boom, boom. Look at my body language.
Have you got a marker?
Yes, I have.
Well done. Good job, guys. High five, guys. Well done. I'm going to invite Vu and you. Yes, you're going to stand over there. Whoa, here we go. Yes, answer the question, please.
Have you got a marker?
Yes, I have.
Well done. You didn't need my help at all this time. Please switch. Yes, it's your turn to answer the question.
Have you got a marker?
That was great. Well done. Thank you. Yes. Well done. Please sit down. Eileen, please stand up. Please stand up. Eileen. Oh, no. Here we go. Well, yeah, answer the question, please.
No, I haven't.
Very good. Switch places, please. Eileen, it's your turn.
Have you got a marker? Yes, I have.
Well done. So you guys know how to use the grammar now. Let's see what else you have on your tables. Everyone, what is this? It's a pen. Have you got a pen?
Yes, I have.
Well done. Good job. Now, let's see. What is this again? It's a pen, right? Have you got a pen?
No, I haven't.
Because I took it from you. Well done. What is this, Neil?
It's a notebook.
It's a notebook. Have you got a notebook?
Yes, I have.
Well done. You too. What are these? Shoes. Have you got shoes?
Yes, I have.
Well done. Good job. Now, can you ask Miss Tian what she has?
Have you got a baby? Yeah.
In my stomach. Wow. Maybe a baby brother. Tian, it's your turn. Ask somebody a question. Maybe a wedding band?
Have you got?
Who are you talking to?
Okay, it means
Who?
it's good, right? Okay, have you got a ring? Yes, I have.
Well done. That's a beautiful ring. Well, your turn. Ask somebody else in the classroom what they have.
Do you have a watch? Sorry, do you have you got a watch? Yes.
Well done. Now, I would like you guys to take your school bags and ask your friends what you have in your school bags. Wu and Tian will work together. Fong and Tuyen work together. Please go back. Eileen and Huang work together. Huang and Tuyen work together.
This one? So I got it's okay. Take me. Okay. I have a book. Can you ask me?
Okay, guys, it's enough. So the pair work you were doing right now, this is still part of my teaching form. The practice at the end, I'm still using to reinforce the language, and I'm still using it to teach my students. It's not even an activity yet, and I'm already getting my students to practice pair work and discussions. Let's get back to, actually, we're going to do small groups. So Wu to Tuyet. We're going to go from New to Hailin and Huang to Tui. You guys will work together and you will list out the different steps that I use. First and foremost, how did I create context for this? How did I create context? So there's a few things I did. Do you notice anything strange on the board? So I've written down the structure on the board, right? What color patterns do you see?
3.
So the question form is in
Blue.
black is the positive short answer form, and in red is the negative short answer. This is a routine that I create. This is part of creating a context. Once my students get aware of the color patterns, they'll always know the question form is blue. They always know that the positive form is black. The negative form is red. I don't care what color pattern you use, but you decide on your own routines for your classes. Don't change them. The students will recognize them, and it will be extremely useful to create some form of context. What is another way that I demonstrated what the use of this is? body language is a big part of it. For example, this is for the question form. Anytime I ask a question, I notice that people, they put their shoulders up. Is when you don't know something, you usually go, I don't know. Well, so this is the question form, the subject form, and again, you use any body language that will help the student understand. For example, got and haven't. So make sure you use clear body language to create context. What is another thing that I did after that to create a more precise context with the idea of a back and forth? I put the X's on the floor and I demonstrated how to use it in a conversation form. So for now, make sure you write the different steps in the order in which they were used. There should be about 6 to 7 steps. Some you will either mix, put together, but list them out, please. Work together. You have 5 minutes.
So what is the first step? Step is to create the context, right? First step, second step. Create context. Use the body language to demonstrate.
What was the first step?
Create the context.
No, write the structure on the board.
Write the structure on the board.
Using clear color patterns. This is part of the pattern of speech, right?
Yes.
Pattern practice.
Using the color part.
Okay, yeah, maybe I create a familiar or a previous knowledge, but I usually write it down. But yes, that's something I did. Yeah.
Use the language to demonstrate.
Right structure on the board.
Yeah.
Clear color pattern. That's like before this.
Step 3.
So again, we will correct it. So right,
The repetition.
with clear body. Yeah, teacher demo. And then what? After the teacher demo, what do I do?
You call the student practice?
No. So student-teacher practice first. I demonstrate with a student. So before I call a student, I demo. Then I call a student to demonstrate the 2 people talking. Then once I feel like the students understand how it goes, I will invite 2 students to come in. Oh, well, there was a choral drill part of it, but that was like students repeat, I don't know, at least 3 times. The students repeat chorally at least 3 times. Yeah. And then we move to teacher demo. Teacher-student demo, student-to-student demo.
And the student ask question. Student ask classmate. Student practice. Group work. A group work finally. So student. Use clear about the language. Demonstrate. With 3 times. Student remote. Work in pair. Yeah. Student demo. So in total 6 steps. Yeah. The step is like open your back and then pair work, right? I work with you and then you work with Miss Tuyet. So 6 steps in total, I think.
There's something.
What is the most difficult for us to teach
Teacher.
grammar?
Use clear body language to demonstrate so students can understand and that we can invite them on the board.
Then I do something else.
Practice, okay?
That is really
Stay confident.
Have
What's this?
have you got
I still can't have a market.
yes I have
But when we apply, we need
We have it clear than just an example. I check understanding.
we need to do it like just like God his God have
And then
No,
there's something else
I-
I did at the end. Because all this structure was part
Yes,
of
I
getting
have.
ready.
the short
What
form
was the last thing? There were.
I haven't.
What?
we are discussing which step is the most
Most difficult and we agree on you clear about the language and demonstrate you understand.
For me, it comes naturally. I never found it difficult. It's probably because of my Italian roots. I tend to use a lot of hand gestures all the time, and experience as well.
Yeah, the difficulty is the.
But you can also set yourself little tasks. So how can I explain the subject we? What body language would you do for we? So, and you put your hands here to include yourself. Now, how would you do they? So I would go they. I would put my hand on somebody else to explain that I'm talking to someone about they. So again, to think about how you position yourself and how the language functions, and then you can easily sort of think about the body language that
Yeah, but
accompanies.
difficulty is make it natural and make it engage.
Well,
Engaging.
yeah, but
You can practice.
experience is a big factor in this. Like, there's a book I read that's called "Surviving Your First Year as a Teacher." Give yourself time to grow. All right, guys, let's list out the steps on the board. Let's see if you, most of you have gotten it correctly. What's the first step?
Right structure on the board.
So usually I write number one, write structure on the board using color patterns. But I have somebody that wrote something that I found very interesting, and it's something that I always do naturally, is create a link to previous knowledge. To previous knowledge. So, what was the knowledge that I reviewed with the students? And it's So again, basic language, but it helps the students feel more familiar, more comfortable, and confident about it. There was also part of the vocabulary that I confirmed with the students. So create a link to previous knowledge to help them understand what's going on. That's always helpful. Makes it a little bit more familiar. Now, step 2, we will put what we call right structure on the board using clear color patterns. And it should become part of your routine in the classroom. And this is true even for higher levels. Sometimes you want to put the subject, the verb, and the object in different colors. It helps students really see the information listed out in a sentence. Right structure using clear color patterns. My marker is dying, sorry guys. Color patterns. I'll change right now. I write color the American way, so I hope you don't hold that against me. I am North American after all. Number 3, what did I do next?
Use clear body language to demonstrate.
So, teacher says, how many times?
5 times.
I did it 4 to 5 times. It wasn't always clear, but it's always at least 3 times. because there will be so much repetition. It's not a clear flashcard technique. This will involve so many times that the students will repeat the same thing over and over, at least 3 times. So teacher says, using clear body language. Using clear body language. At least 3 times. And students listen. Step number 4. Choral drill, right? How many times?
3 times.
At least 3 times. At least 3 times. Step number 5. So teacher demo first. You don't call a student, you don't set your students up to fail. You demonstrate the usage in conversation. It's not perfect, but it's the best way to start. So teacher demo, then student teacher demo, student teacher demo, and then student. What am I doing with the first students? I'm doing something to help them at the beginning, but I'm not doing it towards the end. What am I doing? Do you see me move from one side to the other? So I'm still supporting with body language just at the beginning. Towards the end, I just want to see if they got the rhythm of it. But at the beginning, support your students. Next, number 6. Before that, I did something much more important than the pair work. It allowed them to do the pair work. Check understanding and expand to other vocab. Very important to show them how to use the structure with different vocabulary at this stage. I use something familiar for the beginning all the time. I keep it familiar, easy. Now that they know the basic structure, I can move with different vocab. Spot check and expand or check understanding, I will accept both. Spot check and expand. And expand. And last but not least, if you have time, always do this, which is pair work if you have time. Now, versus traditional methods of teaching grammar in Vietnam or around the world usually, do you think the students would have understood my grammar point? By the end, would they be able to use the structure on their own?
Yes.
Would they have understood when and how to use it? So remember, it's not about knowing the grammar in theory, it's about understanding implicitly how to use language in your daily lives. And that's what we want to do for lower levels. Now, also compared to traditional methods of teaching, what's the speaking time of my students? It's a lot more than traditional methods of teaching, right? So even when I'm teaching grammar in the piece course, I'm also thinking about the amount of practice and speaking time my students will have. Did I reach 80-20? No, I did not reach 80-20. Did I reach something like 50-50? Yes. So don't aim for 80-20, aim for something like 50-50, 60-40, but always be conscious of the speaking time of your students, because by the end of the whole lesson plan, you want to have reached the 80-20 spectrum of speaking time for your students. You want your students to have spoken the most during the lesson. Good? Now, am I always going to use these exact steps for all the grammar points for lower levels? Okay, so let's think about the core values for teaching grammar to lower levels. Can we say pattern practice is a big part of it?
Yes.
So pattern practice. Write down as number 1. Number 2, what other things can we think about as being core to how we should teach lower levels? Is context a big part of it? Yes. Creating context. Now, because I'm generous, I helped you with 2. You guys come up with some other core values. Same groups as before, 5 minutes. Go.
Pattern practice. Choose creative content. We give more cores, reasons for teaching grammar lower level students.
Come on, let's go. You're done. Where's the first? Write it down. What are the core values?
So core values were seriously.
Okay, go. So I do lots and lots of practice, particularly doesn't go to let's just read it right now, sure. But that's where the
for lower level level suitability. The grammar shouldn't be too complex.
Yes, spot check and expand to make sure that the check understanding. Check understanding. Good. What else?
Approach. So our approach.
Role play or demonstration? Context. So we have context that have been created. How do we create context? With solid patterns, with body language, or visual and graphic organizers, and so on.
Okay.
Well, context, maybe you can characterize how do we create context. There's different ways that we can do it. For example, if I'm teaching adverbs of frequency, is body language going to be enough? No, but can I use some visual aids such as percentages, like a pyramid, for example?
Yes.
And I have always 100, never 0%, sometimes 50%. So you can use visual aids such as graphic organizers and so on to help the students see. Can you use pictures?
Yes.
If you're teaching also the present simple, can you use timetables? Can you use timelines for the past, for example? So again, there's lots of types of ways we can create context for the students to understand. Okay, let's write down some of the core values. So the ones that we decided together was pattern practice. Pattern practice. And we do this through repetition. There's no really getting around the repetition. Repetition. In a natural setting, you don't need to practice repetition because it will happen so often that the repetition happens naturally. Unfortunately, in the classroom, it will never be as natural as in real life. So you have to practice repetition. What else?
Context.
So we create context. How can we do that? So we create patterns such as color patterns, or creating a routine. Can we use visual aids?
Yes.
So we can definitely use visual aids, such as body language, right?
Yes.
So body language. What other types of visual aids can we
Picture.
use? We can use pictures,
Time.
graphic organizers, or graphs. So graphic organizers. I'll put the diminutive here, it doesn't fit otherwise. Can I give them examples through demonstrations? So I can give them examples. For example, demo. What else? Practice.
Practice.
You guys had it down, you didn't say it. So practice is a big part of the teaching technique. Even when you're teaching, you should be conscious of the practice, particularly with which skills? Speaking and listening. Doesn't mean we can't use reading or writing as well, but this is where the students are weakest usually. Speaking/listening. Okay? Did we focus on form or usage?
Usage.
Usage over form. Was it complex or simple? Keep it simple, people. Don't overly explain. If that's one of my strengths, I like to keep things as simple as possible. Now, are these core values going to be useful when we move to higher levels? There will be some that we can bring over with us. Usage over form. Keeping things simple is always a good quality to have for a teacher. But are we using pattern practice and repetition? Probably not. Are we creating context?
Yes.
You can definitely use context. Are we going to practice speaking and listening? Yes. But what more can we add here? There will definitely be a lot more explanation of the usage, and we will definitely cover the form at some point or other with our students. Now, I'm going to give you a little sort of challenge. You guys are going to work in the same team as before. You're going to be designing a teaching point for higher levels. You're going to be using, let's say, 4 to 6 steps for teaching the past continuous. Past continuous. Your students are intermediate level, and they are young adults. Let's say 18 years old to 19 years old. Intermediate, learning for the first time the past continuous. Now, when we teach for the first time a tense, should we teach them all the different usages of a tense? We should focus on one usage at a time for the first time, or you should separate them in different teaching points, so that by the end of the lesson, you could summarize it in your follow-up. But don't teach everything all at once. They won't remember it. So what's the point? Now, what is the usage we will teach for the past continuous? that was happening at a precise time in the past. That's exactly the one I was looking for. Because we could also use it that was interrupted by a past simple action. No, we go straight for the most basic and common one. Now, is there foundational knowledge that the students would find useful to remember before we move to past continuous? What are the tenses that would help the students understand this past tense? The past simple and the present continuous. Very good. So these two tenses are good links to the new knowledge that the students will learn. Usually they already know how to use the past continuous because of these two other tenses that they have. Guys, start designing your teaching point. 4 to 6 steps. Go. You have 10 minutes.
Present continuous. What is the medium? So, okay. Let's look at the steps here. They'll call it to create a link to previous continuous. Write structure on the board here. Write structure on the board for the itself. Do that here. But example. At 9 p.m. yesterday, I was reading a book. When you came, I was listening to music. You came to the Alright, so and do you think you need to use body language in the string or no? Alright, intermediate.
Again, body language is not a big part of teaching higher levels. It's not as important. You can still use it though, but it's not a key factor of experience.
We can make it work because we don't have right? So we can ask you some question, right? So make me a sentence using the continuous, present continuous with the word read, okay? And the student will make, I'm reading a book, I'm learning. Alright,
Timeline is great.
What did you do last night? I drank coffee and you missed it. I went out or I read a book. So just let them ask them like 2 or 3 questions so that to review the old knowledge, right? And then we will lead it, okay, today we will learn about the past continuous. And in step 2 we write a structure on the board using different color patterns. Affirmative form, negative form.
Work as a group. It's like you have to really
Alright, so what is step 1?
Create a link to
the previous knowledge, right? So what do you guys think? I have an idea, okay? So we will ask them some questions, right? When you what did you do last night? So then you will say, I drank coffee with my friend. I went out shopping and stuff like that. Alright, so ask that question. Can you make me a present continuous tense using the word read, right? I'm reading a book, or use any of the word I'm learning in school. Alright, so that's the medium. Sorry, I already have the structure written on the board, so this should be done first step, written the structure on the board.
never write the structure first.
Ah, okay, sorry.
So can't the students tell you what the structure is? Don't they know what a the subject is? Don't they know what the verb to be in the past tense is? Don't they know what a verb ing is? Don't they know what an object of a sentence and a precise time or a time expression is? They know all of this stuff. Don't make them lazy, guys. Don't make them follow formulas. Language is a lot more about feeling than it is a formula. The great thing is, what were you doing last night? What are you doing now? These are great things to do to sort of connect with the past. But writing a formula on the board is, I don't mind writing a formula, but ask your students, don't just let them give you all, don't just give them everything for free. Again, I'll let you guys continue, but that part I will definitely say this is not the time.
Yes.
You can address it if you want to, but it should be done towards the end. And it should be the students that give it to you.
So what do you guys think for the next step after I finish the so we have the link, we would do not color drill, but they're not hands anymore. Picture deal.
Okay, that's going to take a lot of time,
I
right?
know that. So what they
I think it's a bit early, but I like the idea of a timeline. Thinking about how we can easily elicit the past and the present continuous without having to write them would be my suggestion.
So Michael, would you?
So, like, avoid having your back to your students too much, and more about discussing, and the students you can easily elicit this information. You don't need to put the examples. The new tense, yes, I agree, and the timeline, yes.
So what do you guys think about it? I know they might so they not really, but these previous two tenses can be used independently, right? But for the past continuous, it has to be linked to be teamed up with the past simple, right? So should we teach them about the
Present continuous and
thing that happened? So we teach them about a certain point time or some
so
indicator
you're going to write a
that we can
sentence
use.
using the color pattern. So for example, the subject,
I was
the
reading
verb
a book,
to be,
no
and the
context,
past tense,
we
and
read
the
about
verb
like
ing,
9
and
o'clock
the
in the
rest.
morning or something, like when he came, so we should teach them about that because remember, this is the first time
Timeline is a really good idea.
of course,
I will
it's
definitely
not true, but
trying to explain
if we do that
before that timeline, and I would put the timeline, well, either or, and then you can use the timeline to explain it. Like, that's really good.
And then from that, you tell them to give us a structure of in their own way of understanding.
Yeah, and it's going to use it with the timeline, conjunction, and the sentence on the board, that's great. And then we'll address the form. Good, and then what do you want to do?
what's difficult is how to
I would send them straight to the
explain
you could
what they understand
you could send them here.
without writing a form.
Spot check and expand, maybe with different things, but it's not that critical. You can, it's not a bad idea, spot check and expand, but it's not like lower levels.
You invested it.
And then something
that's
that's
great. How are you going to address the form? Separate subject plus was or were plus verb ing. But are you going to give it to them or are they going to give it to you?
So just focus on the first usage first. That something happened.
Where's the subject to be line? Where's the verb to be
Happened
was?
exactly.
Where's the verb ing? Where's the object? Where's the line?
Kind of still continue
Good.
to today. So we ask them, what do you do? What do you do now? They say, learning English as a subject, right?
so like we can make a week. Okay, so imagine tomorrow I ask this question. So how would you answer, right? Because today and tomorrow, today will become this day, right? Or educated, right?
Take a lot of time.
I'm always beginning.
Just come back to We just do the first step, have the link to the previous lesson.
Right. Asking a question. We can do it.
And after that,
You can ask them how long they studied English. Right?
Sorry?
I can ask them because they are 18 years old, 19 years old.
For how long have you been studying English? That's how long have you been studying English? That's a present perfect continuous. So you gotta be careful. So when did you start studying? When did you start studying? I started studying English.
And then they can say,
But that's past continuous.
yes.
But you know that is a class for us, so we have to.
right.
Teaching very well.
They won't be able to say it out.
They will be able to say how Michael. That's the thing with the past continuous is they're able to use it unconsciously.
Okay, so can I ask them that question? And then they won't be able to say the whole thing, or maybe.
I would more go. What did you eat last night? I ate rice last night. What tense did she use? Past simple. Why did we use the past simple? Because it was an action that happened in the past and ended in the past. Does it have any relevance to the future? No, it does not. So it ended. Good. Now let's talk about what are you doing now, Ms. T? You are listening to me. What tense did she use there? Okay, and why is she using the present continuous? It's happening when? Now. Is that very precise?
Very precise.
It's very precise. It's happening now. Not before, not after. It's happening now. So we use the present continuous. And when we use the present continuous, what verbs do we use? So there's two be. There's a verb, an auxiliary verb, which is the verb to be, very good, and a verb, ing, or verbing. Some people like to say verbing, or continuous form of the verb. And the verb always ends in ing. You remember how to conjugate the verb to be in the past tense? I? Very good. He, she, it was. You were, and you can be singular or plural. Very good. So for plurals, usually we use were. So they, we, I, was. So was and were. Very good. That's how I link the past. Let's get back to our seats. Okay, guys, I think you have great ideas. You've been listening very well, and I think your steps are really interesting. Even if you're not finished, that's fine. Let's start with the team that finished first officially. So please give me Kuyanoi. Read it out loud, stop being shy. Trust yourself.
Okay. So the first step, they think we should write the structures of content.
So you're going to write a sentence,
Yeah.
and you're going to use color patterns for different parts of the sentence. Yes.
Then we draw outline.
Okay. Are you doing anything are you reviewing the past simple and the continuous form before?
All the timeline we have all three: present, continuous, past continuous, and past continuous.
Okay. I think that will create a messy timeline, but okay, I like it. Right? It's good. You're reviewing all of the tenses.
Yeah.
Good. And?
And then we will give some oral examples.
Okay, so you're going to give more examples of the past continuous. For example, what were you doing yesterday at 9 p.m.?
Yes.
I was sleeping in my bed at 9 p.m., for example, right?
Yes.
And then you're going to ask some students some questions, and you're
Yes.
going to check understanding, okay? And then?
And then we will let them practice.
Okay, I like it. Well done. Good job, guys. It's not exactly the way I would do it, but I think it would work. I do think the timeline thing will get messy. I would keep the timeline just for the past continuous, and I would review before I write the structure on the board. But again, not that big of a deal. I think your idea is generally quite good. Good modern application to teaching. Let's move over here. What do you guys have for me? Let's go, read for your team, on behalf of your team.
Yeah. Our team, the first step, we will ask the student the question.
Connecting to the.
Yeah, to the link to the
Okay, such as what did you eat last night? Okay, and what are you doing now? Okay, good. Let's move to the next point.
Yeah, the next step is I will write the structure on board.
So a sentence, right?
Yeah, the
Okay.
sentence.
A question form or positive form? Like a statement form or just a question form?
So it's a question form.
Okay.
And I will ask the students to analyze the detailed structure.
Okay.
Like ask
It's a bit earlier, but I think they can do it. Okay, good.
Yeah, with my support also.
Good, that's great. You can correct mistakes. That's why you're there. Okay.
Yeah. When after finish with the analysis, I will give the visuals by timeline.
Good.
Then they can invade the pen, the present part of past continuous, how it goes.
Yeah, well, they will understand how the past continuous works. Good. And then?
And then I will let them give some example.
Yeah, so you're going to ask them some questions using different times, and then, yeah, good. And then?
And especially, I need to give them the signal from the tank.
Signals?
Yeah, in signal. When I use the past present, yeah, education signal.
Okay. So you'll get them to practice, basically, right? Okay, let's keep things simple, but I like the steps. I think it's a good idea. I do think you're giving them the formula a bit early. Because if you give them the formula, they're thinking about the formula all the time. I don't want the students to have that in the back of their minds. I want it as a guiding tool for when they're writing or for when they're practicing more formally after that. That's fine, it's important to have, but at the beginning I want them to practice a little bit more naturally and get it sort of under their skin before they start thinking about mathematical equations in their minds. For me, language is a lot more than subject plus verb. I don't want them to think like that. I want them to think naturally with language. But the form is great. I do like the fact that you're asking them to give you the form. They're definitely able to do it. Well done. Good job. Let's move to our listening, please.
We just not consisting into one idea, but I share my ideas. First step, we make a question to create the link to the past, simple and present continuous. And the second step, we explain the past continuous tense in comparison with the tense that we mentioned before.
So you're explaining usage at this stage, okay?
Yeah. And then the first step is the teacher give example of the tense and ask students to apply the second step to make the.
So you're making them create examples, okay? Good.
And the fourth step is check understanding whether they all understanding well.
So yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And the final step is if you still have time, we have a pair to.
Good. I think generally speaking, it's a bit vague, but I think it works well in terms of general applications and the steps to function. Well done. Good job. Yes, I'm very impressed. Let's look at what I will do. A lot of it is similar to what you guys are going to do it, and then we'll see it in practice. Okay? So, Hailin, can you read for me what we're learning today? Okay, so you guys, do you know that tense? No, I think you do. I know you know how to use this tense already. You already know. You don't know it? I'll show you how you know it. Tuyet, what's the first word?
Past.
Very good. What tense do you know uses the past?
Simple past.
Simple past or the past simple? Very good. And when do we use the past simple or the simple past? In the past and ended or stopped in the past. Well, what did you eat last night?
Rice.
I
I ate rice.
So she used the past simple here to describe what she ate. Very good. Now, continuous. Vu. What tense do you know uses the continuous form?
Present continuous.
Very good. Nyum, what are you doing right now?
Learning English with Simon.
Oh, very good. So we are learning English with Simon. Now, when is it happening? Now. Is that any time or is it very precise? It's happening
Now.
right now. Very good. Now, there are two verbs that we use with the present continuous. Which are the two verbs? We have an auxiliary verb and we have a verb ing. So the first verb is always the verb to be. Do you know how to conjugate it in the past tense? So I said the subject, you guys conjugate it in the past tense. I was. Very good. He, she, it was. You were. Very good. And we, they, I, we. So what are the two versions of the verb to be in the past tense? Was and were. I told you you knew how to do this. Check this out, okay? I'm going to write a question on the board and we'll see if you can understand what's happening here. Sorry, my marker is dying again. Fong, can you read the question, please?
Okay, what were you doing at 9 p.m.
Oh, you're interested in my life? That's so nice of you. Thank you. Now, basically, he asked me a question using what we call the past continuous. Now, can you guys tell me where the subject is in this sentence?
You.
Very good. Where's my verb to be? What tense is it in? Past. And do I have a verb ing here?
Yes.
Doing. And what time are we talking about?
9 p.m.
Is that just any time or very precise?
Precise.
Very precise. Very good. Now let me answer that question, Paul. Can you read it?
Yes.
I'll change the marker again after, okay? The blue one is hard. But do you know why I use the blue one rather than the black one? The black one is harder to erase. It takes a lot longer. Anyways, let's not get into it. So, can you read the answer, please, Weena? Okay, so, Vu, can you read it?
I was playing with my child at 9 p.m. yesterday.
So, what was I doing at 9 p.m. yesterday?
Playing.
You were playing with your child at 9 p.m. yesterday. So where's the subject in this sentence?
I
Where's my verb to be?
was
Where's my verb ing?
playing.
Where's the object?
My child.
My child. And the precise time? 9 p.m. yesterday. If you're chatting with your friends, you don't have to put the time. But because we're in class, we always put the time, please. Remember, today we're practicing the formal way of writing it, which means we always put the precise time. Very good. Now, let's see what it looks like on a timeline. So this is now. This is what? Past. And this is the future. Are we worried about the future today? No. So today we're going to focus on the past. Now, when was I playing with my child?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. So it was happening yesterday at a precise time. Do you know when I started? No. Do we know when I started? Did it start before 9 p.m.?
No.
Yes, it did. It started before 9 p.m. Do we know when it finished?
No.
So what do we know was happening at 9 p.m.? That I was playing with my child. But we know nothing of before. We know nothing of after. But we know that it started before and ended after 9 p.m. So remember, this is 9 p.m. We have a question mark here, and we have a line that continues in the past 9 p.m. So what do we know again? When do we use this? For an action that was I can't hear you guys. Happening in the past at a precise time. Fong, what were you doing at 6 p.m. yesterday?
At 6 p.m. yesterday, I was reading
You were reading the exam preparation manual. That's impressive. Did you see he put the time at the beginning of the sentence?
Yes.
That's very impressive. You already know how to do that. But today we're going to practice at the end. But it's okay. You can put it at the beginning as well. Now, Fong, can you ask somebody else what they were doing at some time yesterday?
what were you doing at 7 p.m.?
I was having cafe with my friend at 7 p.m. yesterday.
She was having a cafe with her friend at 7 p.m. yesterday. Was anybody else having a cafe at 7 p.m. yesterday?
No.
Was anybody else studying English at 6 p.m. yesterday?
No.
Oh, no. Very good. Well, let's find, ask a question to me, please.
Okay. What was you doing?
Were.
What were you doing at 8 p.m. yesterday?
Yesterday I was having dinner with my husband.
Was anybody else having dinner yesterday at 8 p.m.? Is that correct?
Yes.
Was anybody else having dinner at 8 p.m.? So what were they doing? They were having dinner at 8 p.m. yesterday. Now you're going to work in pairs and you're going to ask each other what you were doing at 5 different times yesterday. Vous and Tien, Paul and Juliet, Myung and Nguyen, Rose and Eileen, and Nguyen and Thuy. Don't do it.
Do it. But
Don't do it.
but you didn't say Simon Says.
You're funny, Boo. You're funny. Keep that. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's okay. You don't need to practice.
Don't do it.
It's to demonstrate how I would end my teaching point. It's still part of my teaching point. We don't really need to practice.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that. So what are the core values of teaching this? Did you notice the steps? Were they similar to your own steps? I think there was a lot of similarities to how you guys thought about it, especially this team. I think it was very similar. I have a very simple way of explaining this. Let me just erase this and I'll show you. You see what happens when I have black?
Yes.
So messy. All right. It's P-U-T-E. U-T-E. P is for present.
Present.
So how did I present? I reviewed previous knowledge and I introduced a new example by putting the structure on the board and by practicing with the students. Usage, how did I cover usage? I asked you some question and I explained through a visual aid the timeline. So usage. I explained the usage through examples and through a timeline. Can I always use a timeline? No, but I can use maybe visual aids. And the E here is for examples. Not from the teacher, from the students. That's sort of the spot checking phase and the pair work. So for me, it's a little bit wider when it comes to higher levels because there's no single best way of doing it. I don't want you guys to become robots like me and do everything the way that I do it. But think generally this is the way you want to do it for your student. And remember, usage is always a priority over form. Does that mean that we don't address form? No, that's not what we mean here, but it is important to cover usage first. Now, what are the core values of this? What is something that is absolutely important that you do every time when teaching higher levels? Use foundation of knowledge. Why? It helps the students gain the new knowledge faster, and it helps them build confidence with new knowledge because of what they already know. What else is important? Context is important, yes. Examples, visual aids, explanations. Explanations. And visual aids. Is there still practice? Practice is a big part. Is there engagement? Or am I doing all the talking? Or, so engage your students. Make them think. I always find it funny when I get a bunch of students and I ask them a really simple question, and it's something that they should know. And they go, huh? They're just not used to getting people asking them questions and thinking for themselves. Don't make them lazy, guys. Don't just give them all the information. Make them work for it. Get them to think about the process and make them part of the conversation. It's a really big part of higher levels. Or else they will always think, I need my teacher to tell me everything. They won't become independent thinkers. You need them to think for themselves. Usage over form is the last one. But again, form is important. And that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, when it comes to pre-intermediate, you're going to take the core values here and blend them with the lower levels. It's going to be a blended sort of approach between natural and grammar translation. Some pattern practice, some basic explanation, some basic review of previous known knowledge, but in a limited capacity. Now today I have probably one of the most fun grammar activities to present to you. You guys like stories?
Yes.
You're going to be working in pairs to write a mystery story. It's a mystery story. You won't know the whole thing right away. Now, before we start, there's a few things I'd like to review with you guys. Do you know WH question words?
Yes.
So if I want to know a person's name or the identity of a person, who? Very good. If I want to know about an action, what? Or an object, what? So action, object, what? A time.
When?
A location.
Where?
And a reason.
Why?
So today we have who, what, where, when, and why. You guys will be writing into the the right box. Don't write in the left box. And also, you cannot write anything until I tell you to write something. Follow my instructions. Wu, you work with Tian. Move a little bit away from these guys. You don't want them to see your answers. Yet and Fong, you guys work together. Yum and Huyen, you work together. Hai Ling and Huo, you work together. Don't write your names on this. Do not write your names. Good. So what's the first WH question words that we see? Who? What do you think we're going to write in the right-hand box?
Person.
You're going to write a name there. A name of a person, or the name of a group, or multiple names. It could be Huang and Tweet. It could be Simon. If you put Simon, I will fail you in the course, by the way. There's one name that I refuse you guys to put there, Ho Chi Minh. Don't put back Ho there. There's some weird things that can happen in the story, and I don't want to be responsible for defaming his name. Got it? So, don't write back Ho. That's it. Any other name goes.
Can we write Migro?
Huh? Who is that?
Migro.
Are you making fun of me now? No. Everybody, let's write Huam's name. I'm the teacher. Don't play this game with me. Guys, you can put any name you want, even my name, except for somebody like General Zap, and again, be respectful. So anybody in the classroom is fair game. Any famous person, any characters like SpongeBob, Harry Potter is fine, okay? But not Backhoe or somebody we need to respect. Go, you have 30 seconds to write a name or many names there.
Angel. No, that's not a name.
Did you write a name?
Yes.
No, that's
Hurry up, guys. Hurry.
all right. Got this.
The president.
This is a YouTuber. I don't know him, so that's why I put it in here.
All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of origami. You're going to take the paper, you are going to fold it forward to the line. Not further than the line, to the line.
Yes.
And then you will take it from the line, folded backwards, hiding your answer. So, folded to the line, from the line, folded backwards. So it should look like a little accordion in the back. Now the person on the left, hold it in your left hand, please. So the person on the left, hold it in your left hand. So you are giving me your story, and now becomes my story. I'm giving you my story. Do not look at the answers. There are mysteries. And we keep going like this. And you give it to your sister. Now, we have what? What are we going to write there?
Object.
Well, there should be an action. And we were learning about the past continuous. Therefore, it should be in the past continuous form. Plus, you can also include a simple object. No location, no time, please. So it could be, for example, was eating a banana. But don't forget, past continuous form and a simple object.
Alright, so what? I thought we don't need to know. It's gonna be a mess. Just like this. What is this?
Okay, we fold it forward, then backwards.
Alright, and another people will.
That is correct. The same process. You will have this weird little sort of thing in the back here. Like I said, origami. Good? Yeah, well done. Pass it to the person on your left. To the team on your left. Let's go. Thank you.
Where is the elevation?
We have the next one is where. Now we're going to put a location, right? It could be anywhere in the universe, but don't forget, a location requires a preposition. And fold again.
To make it funny, okay?
Candido. Candido. I'm the only one that's allowed to do that. In English only.
Just singing.
Not the time to sing that kind of song. You want to sing Five Little Ducks? I'm all for it. Now we're going to write when. Next to when is we will put a precise time in the past. Because today was the first time we learned about it, it has to be a precise time yesterday. Later we will explore different time expressions. And again, you know what to do. Fold and hide.
Have a good laugh.
And we have the last one.
Last round.
Why?
Thank you.
So the why usually will be something because it was meant to be, because it had to happen. Usually we use the past simple tense for the reason, not always, but generally speaking it will be in the past simple. Because God demanded it?
nice. Yeah.
Okay, you don't need to hide the next answer. We simply pass it to the next.
Pass it.
We're done. So simply pass the reason to the next team. No. Is it over there?
Wow.
Oh, exclamation.
Good. Okay, now let's have a little bit of fun with those mystery stories.
Oh my god, I'm nervous.
Don't open them yet.
Yes.
Let me show you what I want to happen. So I will open it. Don't open it yet. So my beast. Who is my beast?
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast. Ah, the YouTuber. Okay. Was watching a movie at the library or in the library. So I'm going at the library. I am doing something in the library. So I have to change the at for in. Good. Now I have a lot of different times, like 5 different times. I needed one precise time. So I will choose at 5 p.m. yesterday because she broke my heart. Now, would it because she broke my heart or because his heart was broken? So because his heart was broken. Did I fix any mistakes?
Yes.
Did I change anything? Not really. I only fixed the mistakes. Fix the mistakes. Open it and read it and fix your mistakes.
Alright. Self-correction. English. As for the first one, okay? Taking a shower at home on afterwards on Halloween's night
Because the helicopter was.
because he was angry. I don't think so.
And then
So let's see, do we
the helicopter dropped him on the stage.
at home?
That would be an entrance, right? You don't need to change it.
On October the 28th, he
Good.
was angry. He was okay, not crazy enough to make me laugh. Something else. Someone is writing like 5 different people wrote on this paper. So we don't know what is our original paper. I hope we know Mr. Beast. He was reading a book in library because his heart was broken.
Okay, let's start reading some of your stories. Let's start with Eileen and Boone.
Was standing in AIT classroom at 9 p.m. yesterday because it was ready.
That's a good reason to say more.
Makes sense.
Very good. Especially here, it's like a river in the street, so good. Wow, that's
Wow,
good.
bravo.
Following 2 years.
Meetup was singing on her tour in Paris yesterday at high noon.
At noon yesterday,
Yeah, because she broke up with her boyfriend.
While she was in Paris, the city of love. Yes, very good. Let's move to and Tweet, please.
Your turn. No, it's your turn. Harry Styles was dancing in the sky at 4 p.m. yesterday because he was going to a concert.
So he was probably in a helicopter dancing in the sky. Good warm-up technique, very good. Let's go with you and Mia, please.
He is unrecognized. He is grammatical mistake.
So, Mitam, David, Simon, like I have a lot of names. So, Mitam, Bihong Yen, my mom, David Beckham, and Simon were seen, or
Such a mystery.
were singing.
Okay, meet them were singing on the moon at 12 p.m. yesterday because God demanded it.
Well,
Wow.
that's the only reason, like, God does this and you're on the moon singing, right? That's good. Let's go here. Boo.
All right. So Ming was taking a shower at home on October the 28th because he was angry. Doesn't make sense.
It relaxes me to go in the shower. It cools me down. Maybe it was a cold shower to cool me down. Very good. Well done, guys. Take out your books and let's go to page 16 and 17 and let's discuss this activity. Mystery story. What were the skills?
Writing.
Yes, there's definitely writing. What else is there? There's grammar, which is very important, yes. Reading. There's speaking. Listening. Good. What are the topics? Pretty much any. What level is it for?
Intermediate.
So at least pre-intermediate and above. But can you tell me how you can modify this to be suitable for beginners? Don't think about the tenses we were using. Think about just basic structure. We don't need to have the Y there. You can remove WHY. You can remove location or you can remove time. But again, you can do this with beginners. How can you do it? Can they write their own information by themselves?
Yes.
Probably not the first times, but can they choose with multiple choice?
Yes.
So you can give them options of things that they can write there, and then they can do it. So you have to guide them a little bit to be able to do it. So yes, you can do this with beginner and modify it if you need to. The student speaking time? More than 90%. Good. Guys, are you hungry?
Yes.
All right, so Moikenya and
Wow.
I'll see you guys for lunch. I'll come and join you with my lunch.
Đi ra cái cổng bảo vệ lấy cái hộp miến vào đây đi. Lấy cái hộp miến vào miến.
Moikezi. Em Moikezi.
Do I have to pay for it? Do I have to pay for it? Do you have to pay for it?
Yeah, already. Already send them all. Take it.
Page 4.
Anh có
It's good.